Regular meeting of the Camden County Board of Election Registration is called to order. All members are present. Please rise for the opening ceremonies. Please join me in a moment of silence for the victims of Hurricane Helene and Milton. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. Are there any corrections or amendments to the agenda? No. There being no amendments or corrections to the agenda is adopted as presented. Has everyone had a chance to look at the August 21st regular board meeting minutes?
Yes.
Yes.
Are there any corrections or amendments?
No.
There being no corrections or changes?
Correction.
You
It
have
should
a
be
correction?
September 18th, not August, right?
Yes.
August 21st. What's that?
September 18th meeting.
September 18th.
Oh, on the agenda. Sorry, I messed that up.
It's just the approval of the minutes of September 18th, not,
Correct. Are there any corrections or changes to the September 18th, 2024 regular board meeting?
none.
None.
There being no corrections or changes, these minutes are approved as written. Public comments? Public comments for the agenda items only? No public comments? All right, financial report for September 2024?
I sent this out late, and this is just a preliminary. Were there any questions by anybody? Did y'all get it?
Yes.
Yes.
Read it.
Okay.
No questions.
No questions. No.
None.
Okay. When I get the final, I will forward it your way.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, moving on to election supervisor update.
Early voting is going awesome. And they're super busy down in Kingsland. Just a reminder, we start early voting also in Woodbine and in St. Mary's next Monday morning at 7:30. We will be open, though, this weekend in Kingsland at the Annex location, 9 to 5 on Saturday and 1 to 5 on Sunday. So I'm really interested to see how the weekend numbers look. Right before I came upstairs, I looked at the voter counts for today. It looks like there were just over 1,100 people that had voted today already. And she still has an hour. They still have an hour to get in there. Yesterday, we had 1,323 voters, which it had to be a record. I mean, I've never seen that many come through, not on the first day, not on the last day either, when it's generally our busiest. So most voters were super nice, thoughtful, appreciative. So we had a real good day, no major mishaps, nothing broke, everything worked fine. We had no problems. We had poll watchers from 3 different groups, so we were covered with poll watchers. That's my understanding. Everything has been going well. I did spend most of the day there today, and they were just popping. I brought in 2 additional staff to cover the Annex location today. We'll see what happens come Monday when we've got 3 different places open. We'll know a little bit more about how the Annex always tends to be the highest turnout location, no matter where the individual lives. But so every morning before 10 o'clock by law, we have to post on our website the number of voters we had the previous day at our early voting locations, and the number of ballots received, number of ballots issued, number of ballots rejected, and any provisional ballots. So every morning you can look to see what the count was the day before, and it should be up there by 10. Yesterday, like I said, we had 1,323 people vote, which was really amazing. We have issued to this point over 1,400 absentee ballots. One of the biggest things I'm seeing is the return of absentee ballots because people want to vote in person. which is not my favorite thing because we've mailed all those out and it's like $1 to send those out. We mailed over 1,400 of them, but I want them to come in and vote. And they are turning in their ballots when able to. I've even told a couple of people, we'll let you vote. They have to sign an affidavit saying that they're not voting on another ballot as well. But I'm not like making them run home and get their ballot, because we also have people that said, well, I shredded it. I wasn't going to use it. I'm like, no. But we will, they will come back to us with the ballot after they've signed the affidavit, because I don't want extra stuff floating around. So we ask for it back. And generally, most everyone that doesn't want to vote, their absentee ballot, they're bringing everything in with them when they come. I just had one instance this morning where he didn't have it, and he turned right around and voted, but came right back with his ballot. So a lot of that going on. We've received only just over 200 of those ballots. We have a lot of UOCAVA ballots that are part of that 1,400. Our military members, we are getting a lot of those back as well. We do have, 3 more weeks from yesterday, right? So hopefully we'll continue to get those in. Otherwise, staff is doing a great job. Kudos to them. They're working their tails off downstairs too, especially. It's been busy, busy, busy in the office with phone calls. People coming here to Woodbine to vote this week, when unfortunately we have to tell them that it starts next week. People dropping off ballots here. So it's been very busy in the office. And I don't think I had any additional comments besides election, unless the runoff. We do have to unfortunately look ahead to a potential runoff in both Kingsland and in St. Mary's, with multiple people on the ticket for several races. So we do look at when we could possibly get early voting started for that runoff race. And I believe we said November 28th would be the earliest that we could start.
25th would be the earliest.
Yeah, let me double check real quick.
October, no.
November.
Sorry, November 25th would be there. Would be the last day that we could start early voting.
Yeah. Right. So again, we'd have to, we have to wait on, obviously, certifying the election on the 11th. And then our information on the certified winners goes to the state. The state has to build a St. Mary's ballot and a Kingsland ballot for us. We have to review that, proof it, send it to the printer. And don't forget, we have to do logic and accuracy testing on the machines that go out to these polling locations for this particular election. So we feel comfortable saying that by the 25th, which is the last day to start, but it's a tight frame there, tight time frame, that we'll be able to run at least 3 days of advance voting. That is Thanksgiving week, so the offices are closed Thursday and Friday, I think.
So is the state.
Are they closed on Friday as well?
Is closed on Thursday and Friday.
Okay, so unless we get any other direction from the state, we'll move forward with probably just doing early voting for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of Thanksgiving week for that election. And so for that election, we would do the early voting. I'm not sure, probably in Kingsland. I'm not sure how, I haven't confirmed I have a location in St. Mary's for that. But in addition, then we'd only have to open the polls in the cities, the 2 cities, not in Woodbine, not in Waverly, not in Tarboro, for those runoff elections, unless there is none. That would be great too. That'd be best case scenario. So I think that's all, Chairman, that I had to discuss.
Any questions from the board?
No, I do just have one comment. Shannon, I was a voter yesterday, and your staff did an amazing job. From the minute we got in line, asking us if we needed to preview the ballot and in directing us throughout the whole thing. So thank you for that.
Yeah, I went out for just a short period of time to see how it was going and was impressed, but we had Rhea with us, so we didn't stay very long.
Not long.
I did have a couple of comments that the traffic was a little bad. and that we might need a little bit of help. I did reach out to the city of Kingsland, so they're keeping an eye on it. I'm not going to say they're putting anybody out there to direct traffic, but they are keeping an eye on that. And we are having our staff members park adjacent to us at the fire rescue headquarters. So we appreciate them allowing us to park there, and the parking lot was pretty full, so it's been very busy. And we haven't had any incidents. We've had a few people wearing campaign stuff that we've had to ask them to turn inside out or whatever the case might have been, go into the, back to the car, get a jacket or something like that. But everybody's been very kind and considerate. It's just a couple little things, but yeah.
Anything else from the board?
No.
All right. Moving on to new business, discussion concerning the Board of Election Registration 2025 meeting schedule. Has everyone had a chance to review that schedule? The chair will entertain a motion to accept.
Motion to accept.
I have a motion to accept. Is there a second? Second. I have a motion to accept and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. All right, next thing we're going to talk about is discussion PowerPoint concerning open records and posting election material on the publicly accessible website. I don't know if you have that PowerPoint. All right, we're going to talk about OCGA 21-272, OCGA 21-2-493, and OCGA 50-1871. Okay, this basically talks about the election records to be open to the public, and we agree 100% they should be open to the public with the exception of our software and any firmware that we may have. And it says right there, except contents of voting shall be open to the public inspection, may be inspected and copied by an elector of the county municipality during usual business hours at any time when they are not necessarily being used by the custodian or his or employees having duties to perform here in reference thereto. So really what that says is they can't go onto our website and do a open records request and we have to produce it for them. They actually have to physically come into our office, request the information, and then we can make copies. And if you go to the next slide, that's exactly what it says. Provided, however, such public inspection shall only be in the presence of a custodian of his or her employee and shall be subject to proper regulation for safekeeping of such documents and subject for further provisions of this chapter. The custodian shall also, upon request, if photocopying equipment is available, will make copies. Okay? There was some confusion when I was listening to the public comments during the last SEB meeting that the public really believes that they have a right to just do a open records request and we're to send them information or post it to our website. And that's not what the law says. Okay? And this talks about 21-493. Now, this is about ballot images. Now, ballot images are subject to open records request, so you can request those. And then it says all public records shall be open for personal inspection and copying, except for those by order of the court or the state or by law. And this, our election material falls under this law. And this talks about so if we haven't produced the record, when you request the record, we cannot give you that record. You can't come in and take a look at it because we haven't produced it yet. There was also a question that during the last SEB, people were going to open records request ballot images before the election, so they thought they could get them faster. That's not the case. The law says you cannot get them until it's actually produced. All right, next. And this talks about we can either do separate printouts or we may put it on our website. That's not a shall. There's some question about that also at the SEB, about things that they think we should be putting on our website, which is contrary to the open records request. Okay? And of course, this talks about scanned ballots shall be open to open records requests. Any questions? And actually, if you go back, it said which election material is required to be, per the election code, be posted public accessible on our website? Nothing, absolutely nothing. If we want to put it on there, we can, but we're not required to. All right, any questions? Okay,
Can I just add something?
yes.
So the county itself has a system, and Katie, you can chime in if I say this wrong. They have a system where outside individuals can submit open records requests on our website, and then she kind of loops us into any requests that might be pertaining to elections.
Right, right.
So,
So I think probably we need, when someone does an open records request that way, we probably need to respond to them with the 21-272 that says if you want any material, you have to come in and get it.
okay, that's, yeah.
The law is pretty clear on what we have to do, what our boundaries are.
Is that a requirement that you shall require them to come in? Or
Yes, yes, they have to, yeah, it shall be, and if you go back to the, second slide. Go down to the next one. That such public inspection shall only be in the presence, shall only be in the presence.
If they're asking to publicly inspect it.
Right.
But if they're just asking for digital copies of it, or,
Go back to the first slide then.
I just want to make sure I'm clear.
Yeah. Nope, yeah, go back, the next one, there you go. There you go.
Shall be open to public inspection and may be inspected and copied by an elector of the county during usual business hours.
I mean, if they want to see it, but
It doesn't say anything about the transmittal of it, though.
Yeah.
I mean, what if-
because no, I am, I mean, we get open records requests all the time
Why is that?
that we have, it always goes before the attorney, and she's on her way, but she's not here yet. Yeah, obviously, but, I mean, we have in the past, all of the open records we get are for particular items that we receive guidance on from the Secretary of State's office on what we can share and what we can't share with them. And it's never in person because they're coming from I mean, granted, if they come in and want to see, we can do that.
Right.
But I'm trying to figure out,
I would just like the attorney to give an opinion on
yeah,
it, just to
yeah,
make sure, 'cause
just-
Yep, that's fine.
just as a legality, because, you know, sometimes when you read these things, like, I may read it differently than you. And you
oh,
may
all,
read
that's
it
all the
differently than me.
time. It's not very
Yeah.
clear.
And I'm not gonna lie, I'm not up to date on my election laws. On my open
Yeah.
records laws, yeah, I'm great, but not this.
And
Yeah.
that's what brought me
That's
into
what
the
different-
question of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So there was some, like I say, there was people at the SEB that were trying to make rules up for the election officials. They would read part of 21-272 where they said it's open for inspection, it's publicly available.
Stop.
And stop, and not go further down where it says it must be in the presence of a custodian. And it cannot be,
oh, yeah, if somebody requests that they come in to inspect something.
Yes.
I would never leave them alone with like my
no, no,
minute
no,
books or
right.
anything. But my question is if they're asking for physical copies of it and you're overseeing that and expecting that no one else has touched that, and then you transmit that, say via the portal or email, or they physically pay 10 cents per page for a copy, that's kind of left out there. That's where my question
Yeah,
is.
it's like it's two different things almost, and I wonder,
I just want to make sure that we're not being restrictive of people
Right,
with open records.
yeah.
Now, can we look at 50-18-71 right assess time and fees, deny a request and type of electronic records, which is different from someone wanting a copy, I think, of this.
That code section I'm extremely familiar with. This one, no. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So nowhere in there does it say for election material that we can electronically transmit it.
But
This
yet the
photocopy.
state tells us what we can transmit. So I just wonder, like you just said, we read it differently. So that is a good point.
So this is why I'm bringing this up.
Yeah,
We
that's
have
a good
new
point.
county attorney,
Yep.
and I would love for her to delve into this so that we can provide guidance to you on, and the county on what we need to do with
Yeah.
election material.
Yeah, absolutely.
And she's involved, and she looks at every open records request that comes through. She's an admin on the portal,
Right.
as well as Shannon is an admin for elections in the portal.
But we've been doing this for 5 years, and I did not realize that until I delved into it for the SEB, that people were only reading half of the code on 21-272. They weren't going further down where it says, they shall be in the presence.
Good timing.
So what we can do is we will move this into unfinished business
Yeah, that's a great idea.
for either November, probably after January.
Yeah, that's,
We'll make this for a January.
and just,
Put it off that long because we're in the election season. I think we need it.
Usually after election is when
Well-
we get a majority of our open records requests,
So
especially.
here's the thing, we're gonna be
presidential.
doing the pre-certification meeting on the 8th, certification meeting on the 12th of November, and then we run into pre-certification meeting on the 6th of December, I
December.
believe, and then certification on the 9th. So I'm just not sure we're gonna have enough time.
But we can give it to the attorney to,
Yes.
Here now.
Oh, yeah, and then by then, we should have a discussion. Okay.
okay.
We will move this to the certification meeting on November 12th. It'll be on unfinished business.
Okay.
Okay? All right, that gets done with new business. All right, for our training today, it's going to be shifted to a self-review for the board members on their own time. And I sent the board the election night courier affidavit. Did everyone get that?
Yep.
Okay, it's the one we fill out as the couriers when we bring the memory cards back from the
Yes.
polling locations. Did anyone have any questions on that? Everything looks good? All right. It looks good until we go to use it.
Right.
All right. So that's done with that. Important upcoming dates. Mandatory Saturday voting, October 19th and the 26th, 2024. Sunday voting is October 20th, 2024, from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. at the Annex in Kingsland. The general special election is November 5th, 2024. All polls will be open 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Special called pre-certification meeting Friday, November 8th, 2024 at 3 p.m. Veterans Day will be Monday, November 11th, 2024. All offices will be closed. Election certification meeting will be Tuesday, November 12th, 2024 at 10 a.m. here in the chambers. And I've added a couple other things. Last date to request an absentee ballot is Friday, October 25th. That's for the public. We're going to have a risk limiting audit will be Thursday and Friday, November 14th and 15th. That's on the November election. Last date to request an absentee ballot for possible December runoff is Friday, November 22nd. Last date for advanced voting for possible December runoff will be Monday, November 25th. Last date for advanced voting for possible December runoff will be Wednesday, November 27th. Thanksgiving holiday will be Thursday and Friday, November 28th and 29th. Possible December runoff election will be Tuesday, December 3rd. And I'm calling a special called pre-certification meeting for possible December runoff. That'll be Friday, December 6th at 3 p.m. Please put that on your calendar.
I will,
I added them.
Yeah.
I'll email them to the
Yeah.
the board here.
I've got them, we can send them out to everybody. Yeah.
You just gotta, you weren't writing?
Well, normally we have them on here and we don't,
They
Oh,
they
but
were
I'll
added
email 'em out.
after,
I should have emailed them out last night, sorry.
yeah.
Additional public comments? Please state your name. We're limited to 5 minutes.
I just wanted to let you all know that.
Yep. Thank you.
Okay, sorry, Mary Beckman. I just wanted to let you all know that, again, this election, the League of Women Voters of Coastal Georgia has given us big 4x4 signs advertising the times and locations of the early voting. We placed the 5 signs that they gave us for the Kingsland location as soon as they were no longer in danger of being knocked over by Milton. And we'll be placing the ones for the Woodbine and St. Mary's location this coming weekend. We didn't want to put them up the first week when there wasn't voting there. Yeah.
Well, I saw those and I appreciate that. Any other public comments? There being no other public comments, if there is no objection, this meeting will adjourn. This meeting is now adjourned. Oh, 26 minutes. I'm sorry, Shannon.
You were so close. At 23, I looked down and was like, oh man, he almost made it. You had to ask.